Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm CBS19 meteorologist Joel Robinson here with a forecast update. This evening, we are currently streaming live on our CBS19 Plus streaming app, as well as YouTube and Facebook. I do have the Facebook live stream up behind me, so if you have any questions about the forecast, feel free to put any questions you may have. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Right off the bat, we're tracking Hurricane Flossie and just overall tropical storm and hurricane activity as we move forward. So let's take this over to the wall here. We're tracking it pretty closely. It's actually got a pretty defined eye wall now. And there's actually, while we're here on this view, we actually do have a 40 to 60% chance of tropical storm development off the Florida coast here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But for the time being, this is kind of our big story here, is Hurricane Flossie. It's now a Category 2 hurricane. Just last night, it was at a tropical storm. And this is expected to move into Category 3 as we head into the later parts of tonight. Around midnight, sustained winds are estimated around 125 miles per hour. But as we move into Thursday and into Friday, it is expected to weaken to a Category 1 and weaken down to a tropical storm and continue to dissipate as it continues to move northwest. But current winds out there with this storm is about 110 miles per hour. That's sustained winds. It's moving very slow at about 7 miles per hour. It's going to be moving into some areas of shear, that is winds changing with height. And the more shear there is, well, honestly, if there's any shear with any storms like these storms do not like that. And so as this moves up to the northwest, it'll start to run into that and start to dissipate. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're also keeping an eye on Saharan dust moving into East Texas. You can see how it curves up. We do have an area of high pressure here that is making this move into East Texas in such a way here. And because it's there, we do have suppressed hurricane activity, so we're not seeing any activity anytime soon thanks to this Saharan dust kind of migrating up its way into East Texas. But as a result, we will see some nice, vivid sunrises and sunsets across East Texas. It's basically these fine particles way up in the atmosphere. It's going to cause some pretty cool effects if you look at the sunset and sunrises. So if you have any pictures for us, be sure to email it at weather@cbs19.tv. We'd love to see it. Our upper level pattern here, like we said before, we do have an area of high pressure off to our south and east. That's basically staying there, and we have another area of high pressure off to our north. So that's basically trapping in some heat. It's pretty typical for this time of year. We have what we call a ridge of high pressure, and that's exactly what this is. That's giving us some hot temperatures here and mainly dry conditions, although we do have a couple of chances to see some scattered rain over the next couple of days, mainly during the afternoon, peak heating of the afternoon over the course of Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the story here. So we have moisture coming in from the Gulf here. We have a stationary front. That's the red and blue boundary here. So basically what you have is warm air to the north, cold air to the south, and they're basically just kind of locking in together, and there's no particular air mass that's advancing at all. So it's basically going to lock in, and that produces just a little bit of lift during the afternoon hours on top of the unstable atmosphere. So that's where we're going to be seeing some scattered rain activity as we go into the afternoon hours on Wednesday and Thursday. That's why we have a 20% chance in for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then some drier air moves in as we go into your 4th of July. Not expecting any issues right now, so that's a really good thing. But the temperatures are going to be very hot. We'll be cranking our temperatures up into the middle 90s as we head into the latter parts of this week. That's why that ridge of high pressure, that's where that ridge of high pressure really comes in to this forecast. As it continues to move in, it brings in some much hotter temperatures. So that's what we're tracking here. Here's your future skycast. Winds are out of the north right now. That's on the north end of the boundary. So we have north winds here, and then it kind of shifts westerly, and we have temperatures in the middle 70s to start your Wednesday. They become very light as we go into Wednesday afternoon and evening. High temperatures across the area in the low to mid 90s. Notice a couple of isolated sprinkles kind of coming about as we go into Wednesday afternoon. Not a whole lot is going to amount out of that. Very, very weak forcing from the front on top of somewhat of an unstable atmosphere is going to maybe cause a little bit of lift and cause a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity for Wednesday. But Thursday, we kind of do the same thing, except maybe a little bit more widespread. Thursday morning, kind of on the gloomy side, temperatures in the middle 70s. Couple of showers try to make their way into East Texas, but notice we got that southwesterly wind. And what's to the southwest of us? Some drier air. So as that moves into East Texas, some showers and thunderstorms will try to make their way into East Texas, but they will begin to fizzle out as we go further into the day. So that's why we have more of an isolated risk, more so than a scattered risk. So that's what we're tracking here. Here's what we know about your 4th of July so far. No issues there, just very hot. 96 for the high. We're in the low 90s by noon, and we're already starting out in the upper 70s. No issues there, just very hot. Be sure to stay cool and stay hydrated as always. For tonight, looking at temperatures in the middle 70s, kind of on the gloomy side, but very quiet overall, kind of on par for this time of year. Feels like temperatures tomorrow afternoon, triple digits amongst much of East Texas. 102, 101, 102, 101 across the area. Some of us maybe in the upper 90s. No matter where you are, it's going to be a hot one for sure. So that's what we are going to be expecting not only tomorrow, but over the next several days. We really start to crank up the heat as we move into the next couple of days. We're going to 95 for Thursday, 96 for the 4th of July, and then we're in the 95-degree mark as we go into this weekend. Isolated storm chances return to the forecast as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with temperatures around the middle 90s. So that's what we're tracking as we go forward here. And I want to go over here and check the Facebook chat real quick, see if you have any questions. Good evening, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Glad to have you here. But overall, pretty quiet forecast. We just have a couple of rain chances in there, but nothing that is going to be a complete washout. I think a lot of the dry air that we're going to be seeing coming in from the southwest is really going to limit our rain chances going forward. So one more look at future skycast. Like I said, this is definitely the definition of a 20% chance of rain, maybe even a 30% chance of rain. So one more time, future skycast as we move forward. Dry for the overnight tonight. We begin with temperatures in the low 70s. And then tomorrow afternoon, couple of spotty showers kind of developing here. Not all of us will see rain. It's mainly going to be just very hot. Low 90s, feeling like 100 to 105 across the area. Most of us will stay dry. Cloud cover really moves in for your Thursday. That starts our Thursday morning rather, with clouds and temperatures in the middle 70s. We're up to the low 90s. Couple of showers here and there, but I don't think we're going to be seeing too much in the way of showers and thunderstorms as we move into Thursday either. Again, not everybody will see rain. I think the dry air that we're going to be seeing coming in from the southwest will really kind of limit our rain chances going forward. Again, not looking at any issues for your 4th of July, just very hot, 96 degrees. Definitely make sure you are staying cool out there for sure. So that's kind of what we're tracking here. Again, when it comes to the tropics here, we're tracking Hurricane Flossie right now, but there is a chance that we'll see some tropical storm development in the Gulf, mainly towards Florida. So we're going to continue to track that. But as of right now, Hurricane Flossie is at a Category 2. We do anticipate it to move to a Category 3 overnight, and then it'll quickly back off into a Category 2, Category 1, and start to dissipate. So that's what we're tracking. We'll also keep an eye on the 40 to 60% chance of tropical storm development into the eastern half of the Gulf. So that's kind of what we're tracking. As always, stay cool, stay hydrated, and yeah, we're going to be pretty quiet for the most part. Maybe a couple of times in this forecast where you'll need maybe an umbrella or two, but overall going to be very quiet, just going to be very hot. So that's the update for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will have more updated information tonight on CBS 19 News at 10, so we hope to see you there.